Hello, everyone. You're listening to Turning the Page podcast with Jer and Jel. We will be sharing stories from our life experiences in hopes of providing you with entertainment, encouragement, inspiration, and invoking thoughts on topics we all think about with transparency and rawness. So turn your volume up and let's get started. Welcome to Turning the Page, episode 8, where we will discuss more topics on dating. Right?
Yes.
That's what we're doing today.
Yes. You are topic ready. I see those notes over there.
I didn't really take notes this time. I'm kind of winging it today because I've been under the weather.
Yeah.
Someone got me sick. Yeah, you. Don't turn away. So I'm a little stuffy, but I'm sure I can still be loud.
And spunky.
Yeah.
And energetic as always.
I will do my best.
You are.
My hubby
bringing it, baby.
was so nice and made me my medicinal tea. Thank you. I need it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So
I took it to her and she's like, I need I don't even know what it's called. I have no clue.
My tinctures.
I'm like, I know what you like in it. I know what you need. I got it. She's like, no, but I need my tincture.
I did not say it like that. Wow. Well, I thought you might have forgotten, but no, he didn't forget.
No, I know you. I put your honey in there. I put that chamomile lavender tea that you like. That's but
anything with lavender is just
nasty.
good.
Lavender is for the fields.
And to eat and to drink.
No, not to eat. No.
Well,
no.
I thought it would be kind of cool to kick off the show with some dating terms that we might be familiar with, but we also might not be. When we were looking these up, I actually didn't know at least half of them. Probably more than half, huh? Yeah. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, the terms people have now these days, or the generation has these days, I'm like, what?
So let's start with a term that we probably all know. Ghosting. We've all experienced some ghosts out there, huh? Mm-hmm. So ghosting is when someone stops communicating with you out of the blue without giving you an explanation.
Yep.
They just vanish. Right?
Yep.
Have you ever experienced ghosting?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
I have.
And?
I was looking forward to a date and it never happened.
They ghosted you before the date?
Yeah.
So you guys made plans.
Talked to this girl.
Uh-huh.
Met her and we talked for probably a good 20 minutes. And I was like, I like this
in person?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And then she mentioned something like, oh, well, you have to take me out to seafood dinner or something like that. And I'm like, maybe you could take me to go have some
a seafood
oysters.
Dinner. Okay.
And anyways, kept texting and through text and talk. Huh. And then every time I'd bring it up and be like, hey, you ready for that seafood dinner? Are you ready to go out and have dinner or hang out? And she's like, oh, I can't tonight, and let's try next time, or next week or something. So I tried next week, and yeah, it went for a while, and I was like, maybe she's busy. No, that was not the case.
She just stopped responding to you.
Eventually, yeah, I think either one of us stopped.
How long did it take you before you stopped trying to reach out?
It was probably a while. Probably 2 months.
You tried to reach out to her
not
for
like
2
every day.
months?
So we would still stay in touch with each other through Instagram.
Okay.
So she'd post something and I'm like, oh, that's cute, go and comment.
There's a term for that.
Like that. Well, you're gonna teach me that here in a minute. And then every now and then, 2 weeks would pass by or a week would pass by, and then I'd send a message and say, hey, you want to have dinner? And yeah.
Interesting.
Never happened.
I don't understand. I don't understand why people ghost. Because why can't you just be like, sorry, I'm not interested. Or you don't even have to apologize. Just be like, I'm not interested at this time. Mm-hmm. My priorities have changed. I mean, you don't even have to say anything about, oh, I just didn't like you. I mean, come on, let's be a little bit nice. Yeah. But just be like, something came up. I'm no longer looking for something serious or for anything at all. Whatever. I have been ghosted once, yeah, but this was after a date. So I met this guy on Tinder in my early 20s after my divorce, and I don't know, we went to go eat at Outback, right? That's the guy. And I thought it went okay, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what? I know I told you the story, but I failed to tell you. So it went well. Conversation I thought was good. He was a very attractive guy. I actually thought that he was too attractive for me. You said that. I know. Don't ever think that you're not good enough. I'm just going to put that out there. But he didn't even order anything to eat. Nope. He ordered a drink, and he said he wasn't hungry. But we had plans to have dinner at Outback. I was like, what? And of course, I'm going to eat because I didn't eat since like hours ago because I knew we were going to be eating. So I was like, okay, well, I'm hungry. He's like, oh, no, please order anything. So I ordered like the barbecue Barbie chicken or something with 2 sides. And I felt weird, first off, eating by myself. You just, when you're on a date, don't make your date eat alone. The whole purpose is to go together. Yeah, no. It was a little awkward because of that, but he was asking me questions like about my history and why I got divorced and stuff like that. And I'm an honest person. I'm not going to, lie or sugarcoat anything. So knowing me, I don't remember what I told him because it's been a lot of years. But knowing me, I was probably really honest. I was like, well, we divorced because I cheated on my husband, and we went to counseling and it just didn't work out. And I even told him the history about him cheating in our dating years and how it just all started wrong. And oh my gosh, no, I don't know. Maybe that was a turnoff. I mean, some guys can't handle that. Some guys think there are that, some guys that if you cheated once, you're going to continue to cheat on all your future partners. And I don't really necessarily believe that. I mean, if you cheat once, okay, but you have the power to not do it again.
If you learn from it.
And I learned, right? So I chose not to do it again. Yeah. But not everyone has that mentality. So after our date, we kind of talked here and there, like on Snapchat, and he just didn't reach out again. He just kind of didn't text me, didn't call me. So I don't know what it was. But then months later, I want to say 6 to 12 months later, somewhere around that time frame, because I had removed him from Snapchat, he adds me back. I'm like, why? I must be still on his contacts on his phone or something. And he never reached out. He just added. Yeah. I just saw, how Snapchat notifies you. Oh, you got added by this person. It's so weird. Yeah. So ghosting. It's just say something and let it go. Yeah. Right? It's the adult thing to do.
Don't lead people on.
Don't leave them hanging.
I mean, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me still, but.
Well, duh, because we're here today. Hello.
And the best thing that happened to you, too.
Yes. So our second term, breadcrumbing.
Is that what that was?
No.
No?
No. But breadcrumbing is leading someone on. More specifically, it's being in just enough contact and dropping just enough information to make it seem like there's interest there when most likely there's not.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. No. I was breadcrumbed.
Well,
like a duck.
It's like putting you in a pocket just in case for later, Yeah. Or let me just save this. I might put it in my cart and I might buy it later. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of what I get from breadcrumbing is I'm just going to give them enough so that I can still keep them stringing along. And no, don't do that. Like, give your intentions right off the bat. If you're not interested, then say you're not interested.
Yeah. I think that all comes down to what we talked about last week too. Potential versus purpose.
Yeah.
Someone with purpose, someone that has purpose in their life isn't going to be doing that to people. Someone that has found their purpose and is walking in their purpose and knows who they are and walks in that confidence and knows, what they want, they're not going to be playing games.
No. Nope. Yeah. They are not.
So stop playing games.
I don't think I've ever been breadcrumbed. I guess you have, as you mentioned.
I think that was kind of breadcrumb.
I can't really think of an instance where that happened to me or that I was doing the breadcrumbing because I wouldn't do that. It's weird. Anyways, next term, cuffing. Cuffing is also known as cuffing season. This is the idea that
That sounds sexy.
Well,
the way you say
stop it. This is the idea that you're being handcuffed or tied down to one another, right? Mm-hmm. But it refers to when people settle down in serious relationships during the colder months of the year. The holiday season, when they would normally not be interested in a committed longer-term relationship. Have you noticed that a lot of couples tend to form before the holiday season?
Yeah.
I wonder
if
why.
that's just because they don't want to be alone.
They don't want to go home alone. They want to have somebody to cuddle with because it's cold. Like, what is it? Well, there's a term for it. It's called cuffing. Hey, do you want to be my cuffing partner for this season? I bet you people don't really ask
3-4 months.
And then it's over. Right?
November, December, January.
I've never done that either. I've
February, never free.
Yeah. I've never just been in a relationship just for the winter, just because I don't want to be alone during those months. It's weird. Yeah. Well, since there is a cuffing season, guess what? There's also a freckling season. Freckling basically describes a summer fling, right? It's when you are in a serious committed relationship during the warmer months of the year. Summer fling, baby.
Freckling.
I think everyone has had at least one summer fling, at least in their younger years, right? Have you?
For summer, yes.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Huh. And then school starts up again and then you're done?
I think it must have been mutual, right? Because it just connection just ended. It wasn't oh, hey, let's break up or let's not see each other anymore. It's just during that time, things towards the end of July, August, things just started separating, and neither of us were hey, I feel like you're separating. You haven't talked to me in a long time.
Wow. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a summer fling, I would say. I don't know. I can't think of one. That's just, no. Not that I'm aware. This ain't no Grease movie.
Right?
Summer lovin', yeah. Anyways. Okay, groundhogging. What do you think that is? Give me your best explanation.
I can't even think about what that is. Because the groundhog, I think of Groundhog's Day. We kind of talked about this
in the last episode.
Did we? Mm-hmm. I don't remember that.
We didn't have the term. We didn't know there was a term for it.
Groundhogging. I don't know. I can't think.
Groundhogging explains the act of going after or dating the same type of person over and over. We talked about that.
No, thank you.
Don't be groundhogging. Try something new. Right? Yeah, so that's what groundhogging is. And, I've dated the same type of person over and over for years until God had said, try something new. Remember in the last episode? Or maybe it was it the last one? Yeah, I think I had mentioned it. Yeah, you said,
the last two.
I probably mentioned it in the last two.
I think you mentioned it a couple episodes.
Yeah. Have you ever done that? Groundhogged?
Found the same person over and over?
Yes.
Not necessarily, but I guess in some ways, as far as commitment, on the last two relationships. I guess you could say maybe
the last
that was
two being the same type of woman.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Are you sure?
I'm trying to think of it. It was just,
or you don't want to
it wasn't wise. It wasn't a wise decision. And I never, as you had mentioned last time too, a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to heal. And we just jump from one relationship into another. But the funny thing is, like, after my second marriage, like, that lasted 5 years. But going into that marriage, I jumped in quick. I knew that she wasn't over her ex-husband. Like, she had that connection, kept dragging him back in, dragging him back into our lives, I should say. Not just her life, because I was part of that life. But then finally, like, that relationship ended. And then after that, I, like, took time. I actually got to a point where I was like, okay, I don't know who I am.
Yeah, you took like 3 years.
I was
and
close to 3 years.
And
it wasn't
you still
exactly.
got into a relationship with someone the same?
Because I was, so our church group, our church, the people that were around. I thought that I knew this person. I thought other people knew this person because a lot of people spoke highly of her and were like, oh, she's great, her family's great, and her family is great. But there were people around us that knew, I guess, her habits and traits that I never saw.
Well, we're all human. We all make mistakes and we all grow.
Yeah.
She might have not been there yet.
No. Well, apparently she used to, like, date people for a short amount of time. They'd propose and she'd dump them. Date someone.
Like J-Lo?
Yeah.
Well, J-Lo...
Well, probably worse than that. I don't know.
Actually, J-Lo...
After I found out there's like, she had been engaged like 7 or 8 times, like within a short amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, J-Lo actually hasn't been married that often. I think only twice.
Yeah.
So she's just been engaged a lot.
Yeah.
I Googled it, I think, one time. Anyways. Well, let's not go groundhogging anymore.
No,
You're done.
I'm done.
Good.
Done. I am done.
So the next one is haunting. I think this is with the one I think that you did with that first girl.
Yeah.
That ghosted you. Haunting
Being haunted
is the act of keeping tabs on your ex via social media. Maybe you no longer interact with each other in real life, but you still view all of their stories, their posts, maybe even leave a comment from time to time. Basically, social media stalking is called haunting. Were you being a social media stalker?
No, because I feel I was being breadcrumbed.
Okay.
Because it was always that feeling of like, hey, yeah, we're going to hang out.
That turned into ghosting.
Yeah, because if you say, hey, and you connection, and it wasn't just always me reaching out.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'd be like, hey, I like your video today, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's like, we should go do something later. We should do something. I'm like, okay, let's go. Oh, well, I can't tonight.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was weird.
Well,
I still don't understand it. I don't know. I don't need to, but
no, you don't.
It's good.
Because you're gravy, baby.
Gravy.
We have kitten fishing.
Do you know that used to be one of my nicknames?
Kitten fishing?
Oh, I thought you said king fishing.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, when do you go kitten fishing? Okay, why?
Never mind.
Hold on.
Let's delete that part. Not kitten. No kitten fishing.
Hold on. Now I need to know why your nickname used to be king fishing.
I don't know. It's one. So one of our family friends, Vanessa. Her grandfather was our pastor. His wife. All their kids were part of the church that we went to and stuff. He used to call me Jeremiah Kingfish. I don't know where that. To this day, I still don't know where that comes from.
Is that from a song?
No, I don't. Not that I know of.
I mean, I know like Jeremiah was a
bullfrog. Don't bring that up. That was elementary school.
I
know
about
annoys
that.
Me today.
I know about that nickname.
Yeah. Let's not go there. That's another episode.
So you don't know why he called you Kingfish?
I don't know where that comes from, but like...
did you ever ask?
Roman, the guy that we reach out to that helped us with finding some of this stuff, his mom, or his dad, calls me Kingfish still. Like, sees me, he's like, Kingfish!
Okay, I feel like you need to reach out and just ask, like, where did that name come from?
Jeremiah Kingfish.
How do you not know?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Not kitten fish.
Well,
Okay,
I learned something new
that.
about my husband today.
That. Yeah.
Okay, so kitten fishing. Kitten fishing is the baby version of catfishing, basically. So it is when you use photos from 2 years ago instead of more recent pics. You're using old photos on your social media accounts or like your dating accounts that make you look younger. Kitten, because catfish is, it's the opposite of catfish.
Oh, so like where I'm at today, if I was pulling photos from like 10 years ago.
Yes,
okay.
you would be kitten fishing. Okay.
Yeah, it looked completely different.
It's common in dating apps. Like they don't use recent photos. So it says here it's something to watch out for because if they're doing that, then it could be a sign of them being an habitual liar.
That's a good sign.
If they're lying about what they look like today, what else would they lie about?
Well, with all the filters today, come on, really?
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. There's so many filters.
I think
I try not to use them.
60-70% of the photos out there of women are probably filtered somehow.
I like the more natural.
I can tell.
The natural filters. Those are the ones I really like. So then we have love bombing. It's a term used meaning that your partner is over the top with displays of affection, admiration, and attention in an attempt to sweep you off of your feet in order to manipulate you later on. So once the love bomber has secured your affection, then they will start to withdraw affection and become abusive, which can really be confusing.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open.
It's a dangerous form of emotional abuse and something to look for.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy that's always showering you with gifts I don't know. I don't think it's always the case, right?
Yeah.
I think some are really genuine. They really want to shower you with all this.
Yeah.
That's their love language. They
You're
want to give
giver.
you all these gifts.
You like doing that.
I do.
You've never love bombed me.
Well, if I had $1 million,
not that
I probably
type of love
would.
bomb.
If I had the money, I probably would get you your $4,000 guitar and
Stop.
I don't know, trip to Greece. They have beaches there.
Imagine.
He's always talking about
Caprese salad on
wanting to be on a beach.
Of Greece. Oh,
baby,
you would have to make it though.
Babe, Caprese.
I wouldn't like that.
Okay, first of all, Caprese salad is Italian.
I don't care. I would eat it in
Not
Greece.
Greek.
I would eat it so hard. I would put that thing down.
Oh my gosh. So love bombing. And let's talk about. Let me see.
Love bombing. Oh, I was gonna ask a question when you said that about love bombing. So, for someone that's doing that, what time do you think you could tell someone's true motives? Because a lot of times we'll see people, and anyone could pretend to be whoever they want to be, right?
Right.
But how long does it take for that to kind of start exposing? People can only do that for so long, and then it comes out unless they're super, super patient or talented.
Honestly, I would say 6 months, in my opinion.
That's what
half
comes
a year
to mind in me on mine. Yeah, in my thoughts as well.
Because 2 months is too soon, 3 months is too soon. You're still kind of showing the good face, and you probably aren't even comfortable enough to fart in front of them yet. You know what I mean? It's a thing. Okay, let me tell you something.
How did that come into the whole picture? We went from talking about being fake to farting. Don't be fake, just fart.
Because we're talking about time frames, and at 3 months you're still trying to be this perfect person. And
I farted way before 3 months.
I know. I know, but a lot of people they just can't do that. And let me tell you, you can tell when a person's really comfortable around you when they pass gas in front of you. Okay, you can. I'm just saying. Anyways, so 6 months. I was thinking 6 months because 6 months is enough to go through a few holidays. It's enough to see them in different social events.
Yeah. You should be able to see someone's true colors by that, because there's
Yeah.
going to be certain things that happen. There's going to definitely, you're going to have opportunities to get irritated or mad or angry, and that doesn't stay down for long. So
Oh, hey, remember I mentioned putting you in a pocket? Well, there's a term called pocketing.
Well,
it's known as stashing. Describes a situation where your partner fails to introduce you to friends, family, and other important people in their life, even though you've been dating for a while. They're basically keeping you a secret. While not all pocketers have a malicious intent, it's definitely a conversation worth starting with your significant other. I mean, if you're dating someone, why would you not introduce them to your friends and your family?
You know what makes me think of that? So, let's go back to 1998.
Oh my gosh. Did you not introduce someone to your friends and family?
No, I didn't. But, okay, so I'm
learning something new again. Okay?
I'm from a small town. I came from a city that everybody knew everybody. Yeah. Right? So I dated a girl in that small town. Well, I didn't have to introduce her because everyone always knew her. In 1998.
Ooh, if they're listening, they're going to know. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it was maybe 1996. I'm just joking. Somewhere around
there.
Go ahead. But everyone, like all our circles, and then my parents, they had a business. Everyone knew my parents. Everyone knew business. Everyone knew her mom because her mom worked at the courthouse. Everyone knew everyone. So I never had to introduce her. I never had to go around, hi, this is my girlfriend, or hi, this is, So when that relationship ended, I know you're wondering, where the heck is this going? But when that relationship ended, and then I got into another relationship and had been dating for a month or 2 months or whatever, here in Albuquerque, I didn't know. Not everybody knew me, but I was still in that habit of
not introducing.
Not introducing. I never had to do it before.
I see where you're going with this.
I never had to do it before. So when I would see people that I knew and friends, hey, what's going on? How are you? Oh my gosh, Jel, it's so good to see you. Awesome, that's great. And
she's standing right next to you.
Right next to me.
And you're not introducing her?
No, I didn't. It never even crossed my mind.
Did she call you out on it?
Yeah, she was all hurt after one day. So we're got back in the car and we getting ready to leave, and the whole attitude is different. You know how when the air just gets sucked out of everything, someone's mad? Yeah. You're like, what's wrong? Nothing. Fine.
Well, we all know when a woman says she's fine, she ain't fine.
No. Yeah. And I never heard the end of it.
Unless you're me. I would never tell you I'm fine. I'm going to tell you what's wrong.
Thank God. Because that would annoy me. I hate that.
I used to be
just be truthful.
I'm fine.
Just tell me what's wrong.
But no.
I don't read your mind. I don't know everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
So and then now, you know what? I took it to the extreme because you know how I am.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, I did. I did.
So you would introduce her?
Yeah, because every time we go somewhere, I'd forget to introduce to one person or something. And I'm like, really? Are you going to be that petty? And okay, I will make sure that I never miss the opportunity to introduce you again.
Wow. Well, you're being petty right back.
Yeah,
okay, and how would you introduce her?
It was awesome.
You were really loud and over the top?
Yeah, her brother and one of her friends be like, hey guys, how you doing? Oh man, hey, this is my girlfriend. And they look at me like, what the heck is he doing?
I bet she got so annoyed.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
Well, of course not.
It was awesome.
That's funny. Okay, our last term that we'll go over. No, I have 2 more terms. Okay, roaching.
Ugh.
The word
Your
already makes
animal.
me want to vomit.
Your favorite insect.
I do not like them.
Some people use them as pets.
I know. There's a whole series on it, I think, on YouTube or something.
I think I saw a TikTok once, and all of a sudden you've seen something on this girl's shirt.
They play with them.
And it was moving, and I was like, what the heck is that? And they zoom in, and it gets closer. Roach. It was a big old freaking Madagascar roach.
Yeah, no.
As a pet. No, thank you.
So roaching is the gross dating trend of a new partner hiding the fact that they're still sleeping around and dating other people. So it's called roaching because, as it goes, when you see one cockroach, there are many more you don't see.
That's true.
So not only is roaching unsafe, if you're having multiple
Yeah.
sex partners, please let them know. I mean, you shouldn't really at all. It's not healthy.
No.
And it's very deceitful.
Yes.
What's
And
the
it
longest
creates really
relationship
bad
you've ever been
habits.
in? Yeah. Was that your first marriage?
After my marriage, I don't even like calling that a marriage. It
No,
wasn't
any relationship.
9.5 years.
And that was your first marriage.
Oh yeah, that was like torture. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. You know the story. You know.
I know.
And you still don't know like all of it.
And I know. I feel like
for the longest time I would tell you, and you're like, I can't see that. How can no? That can't be.
I know.
She can't be that bad. She can't be that mean. And then she finally starts talking to people who knew her and been around her, and then she's like, oh, okay, maybe she is that bad.
Okay.
Now she's experienced some stuff that now she knows how it is.
Yes,
so.
I do.
And I didn't have to say nothing. I'm just like,
I still think that you haven't completely healed
no,
from that experience.
Still just makes my skin.
What
crawl.
I mean is like you've healed in a way where you've moved on, of course, but you still carry this like animosity or like
anger
towards this person.
Yeah, I don't like her. I'm openly about that. I don't like her. If I would be
how
fine
healthy is that?
Throughout my whole life, if I never have to see her again, hear about her name, if anything ever happened, I'm just saying.
Stop.
Anyways,
I'm gonna cut you off right there. I'm gonna paint a picture. Okay. I'm gonna paint a picture.
Is this with crayons, watercolors, or acrylics?
Use your imagination.
Oils. What are we?
Listen.
What, spray paint?
Linda, listen. Okay. I understand your experience, right? It was awful. And, it was really awful.
Yeah, there's a lot that happened.
This is the mother of 3 of your children.
That's fine. That doesn't have anything to do with me anymore.
Hold on.
No.
I know, but they're your children who love her, who care about her.
Yes.
So if she were to die...
And I encourage them to love her and respect her.
Estoy hablando. Mira, if she were to die, you wouldn't cry just a little bit? Babe,
hold on. Ask me that again. One more time.
No.
Ask one more time. Let's redo that.
No.
Oh, ask me. No.
Babe, what I'm trying...
I would not. I would not shed a tear in any way.
Hold up. Where is your humanity?
I would go help. Dig the hole.
Babe!
Okay, that was a little bit too far. But
listen, where is your humanity?
I love people. Okay,
all right.
I love people.
Hold up. Scenario number 2. Jesus is right in front of you.
Yes, I'm not Jesus. I'm not Jesus. Please deal with this woman because God knows I need you. She don't know that. She don't know she needs you.
Listen.
Talk to her. Jesus, talk to this woman because, oh my gosh. I'm ready to dig a grave.
But Jesus doesn't want us to hold on to this anger and animosity carry this for years and years because one is detrimental to your health. Okay. Thankfully, it has not affected our relationship. Thank the Lord. And I know it would never affect it, but it's a heart issue. It's your heart issue, which you need to work out. Nobody else can.
And I have worked on it compared to where I was.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh. I'm calm and loving towards that person right now compared to where I was. But this is a person who is so deceiving, so manipulative, so narcissistic, so controlling, which you see now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even have to point that out because it's just so visible. Not towards me, not towards us, but towards my son. And you see that coming out and how it affects him. And that's just a portion of what she's done towards me. But I think the main reason why I'm so... Like, I really don't... Like, even when I walked away from that marriage, I never cried. I never missed her. When I went to file divorce papers...
You didn't cry?
I did not cry one bit. Not one tear.
You didn't even miss your nuclear family?
Do you know how long that marriage was so just... life-sucking.
Okay. Out of the 9.5 years,
Ugh.
how many of those were good years?
Maybe 2.
Really? Okay.
Maybe. And not even, I'm not even saying the whole full 2 years.
Uh-huh.
There was a time that we got involved in our church and things seemed to start really going good. I was leading worship. We were going to church all the time. We were constantly around people that were really, pouring into us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, after 8 months or whatever, like, you could tell it was fake. Like, I was really trying to serve the Lord and trying to be, and it didn't affect me. I shouldn't say I was trying to be, because I was committed. But then, like, she would be around at church one way, and then I would start seeing other things around at home, like the way she treated me, the way she was with other people, the way she treated her family, the way she treated, I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. It was crazy.
Two-faced.
Bad, yeah. So I think where I hold a lot of anger is because I missed and still am missing so much of my children's lives. Like, I have a daughter and I have another son that's just getting ready to turn 18, but I haven't seen him since he's 4.
Right.
So I've missed so much. Like, I've got a really great relationship with my oldest son, which and you see that how healthy that is.
Which we're happy for.
Yeah, and it's great. It's amazing to have him in my life. But
and you hadn't
it still
seen him
hurts.
Since he was 8.
Yeah.
And you
and
guys
I
reconnected.
got in touch when he turned 18. I got in touch with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy.
And your daughter?
Haven't seen her since was 7.
And she's of age now.
Yeah.
So you could reach out.
I have. I've reached out, but when a person has control over those children and still runs their lives and puts so many threats and stuff out there, that's where, like, they just choose not to. They're like, nope, I think I'd rather. Like, my son, he did. He was like, I don't care.
He had his own mind. It was like, I'm going to go meet my dad.
He definitely
I'm going to go
used
have
his
a
own mind.
relationship. Good for
Well,
him.
he found out for himself, right? Like, he had been told all this stuff. He's a bad dad. He wants nothing to do with you. He's got new children. He's got a new marriage. He's got a new family. Your grandparents want nothing to do with you. Your grandmother wants nothing to do with you. Your dad wants nothing to do with you.
I don't
which was never
understand
true.
Women who keep fathers away who want to be in their children's lives.
Yeah. And then the ones that don't want to be in your children's life, like my second ex, like, he never wanted to be involved in their life. But she would, like, put that fishing reel out there, and you're not being part of your kid's life. You need to come pick them up. You need to come see them.
And
then they would be disappointed.
Available all the time.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand that, but
it was crazy.
But we still have faith, and we pray, and we hope that one day your daughter and your other son would reach out. It would be nice to reconnect for you.
I believe it'll happen. Like, I never believed that I would have that relationship even, like, with my oldest son, but it happened. Like, God moved in that whole area because I reached out to him, gave him a letter. You know, he gave me this big old hug, and when I got that hug from him, I was like, oh man, like, this is real. This is there's a connection here. But as soon as his mom found out, like, she tried to sabotage that so quick. So I didn't hear from him probably for 3 months. And then he called me out of the blue one day. And from that point on, from that day forward, like, we've never gone without talking to each other, seeing each other, or having some type of communication. Even when she had found out about it, like, he was still in touch with me. And we've just gotten
almost
strong.
Almost every day, huh?
Almost.
Now that he's married, it's not every day.
Yeah.
But
we used to talk every day, but now he's got a wife, he's got a job, and he's got a lot of responsibilities. So
it's good for him. Yeah. We're very proud of you, Christian.
Yes.
If you're watching.
You go, boy.
So this 9.5 marriage, a lot of stuff went down. You haven't talked to her in probably forever. Years, right? Probably years.
Yep.
And this is a person who you're probably never going to hear an apology from. Like, oh, I'm sorry for making you go to jail all those years and making you a gangster. Inside joke. He thinks he's a gangster because he was in jail for, 9 days?
Closer to like 12 days.
But for something...
I've got the tattoo to prove it. Wink,
whatever. But you were...
I ran that whole pod.
Shut up. You wish. Can you picture him as a gangster? I mean, come on. No. No,
I hide it good.
But, I mean, she did these things like making you go to jail for something you didn't do, lying.
She used the system against me that was very wise and very smart.
A lot of things that you will never get an apology for. So how do you move on from that? And have you even moved on?
I have from that part, yes. In the beginning, I was like, I was.
But how do you move on from a relationship without an apology?
I came to the understanding that forgiveness wasn't for her.
Yeah.
Forgiveness was never going to be for that person.
True.
And in the beginning, believe me, I wanted it. I wanted her to say, I'm sorry, I should have never did this, I should have never did that. But then it came to the point where, like, manipulation and all this stuff. I had 8 criminal cases against me. I could have been in prison for like 30 years. I'm telling you, girl. Shoot. I don't know what my prison name would be, but anyways.
How about bullfrog? Or
that's not even funny. There's
Kingfish. Mr. Kingfish. The gangsta.
Anyways.
You should have never told me that.
It came to a point to where I don't remember where it came from. If someone told me or someone had mentioned it to me or I heard it somewhere, but they said that holding a grudge against someone or not giving forgiveness is like drinking a poison and expecting it to affect that person. There is some term like that. There's some saying that goes like that. But basically forgiveness was for me, to release from myself.
And you have forgiven
her? And it wasn't, yeah, I have.
But
I
you're
really
still
have.
Angry.
I am, because that type of person, I can't stand a person who is deceiving, manipulative. Even when I run into someone like that now, and I've had some people like that I've crossed paths with, I'm like, oh, I can spot it quick now. I see it so fast.
I think what it is, I mean, yes, you've forgiven her, but I think you're more angry about the fact that you were robbed of your children, seeing your children grow up. Because she did that.
Even now, there's being with you and seeing how you get to experience things with Carter. He's 14. And he gets in these little moods, and there's certain things that he deals with, or something happens and with a girl that he's talking to, or something happens with friends, or something happens with certain, whatever it could be, him wanting to drive,
I know.
The day that we had, you suck.
Why do I suck? Are you gonna cry?
You're bringing up some emotions that are really, really.
You're gonna make me cry.
I haven't talked to you on this stuff, but wow.
Let it out, baby.
Wow.
This is raw and genuine. Let's go. What day?
So we were at church.
You're gonna make me cry.
Give me one of your tissues. I hadn't thought about this, but it's something that it meant so much. And I remember having that experience, and it brought back every thought of man, I didn't get to experience this with my children.
Mm-hmm.
And it does hurt. But we had got out of church. It was snowing. We were in my vehicle, and Carter was only, 13, I think, at that time. And it was snowing outside, and I remember we were walking through, and the parking lot was almost empty, and I told him, "Hey, Carter, you want to do donuts in the parking lot?"
That day,
And I mean, you were like, "No, you're not gonna do donuts. You're gonna wreck the car." This, like, everything that a mom thinks of, like, he's gonna die and we're gonna die with him. And I think I still have a video from this.
We do have a video, and I even posted it on my mother's on TikTok.
And
got taken down.
The joy that brought to my heart just for having that short amount of time reminded me of what I missed of not being able to have those experiences with my own kids.
Yeah. Baby, you've never shared that before.
No, but I didn't think about it. I guess I never really thought of it in that way, but it does. It hurts. Yeah. And that's what makes me angry. That's what makes me angry, because there's times that Carter has questions and I feel like I have no clue what I'm talking towards or how to even talk to it. And sometimes I feel like I'm just pulling it out of somewhere going, hey, son, you know what? This is how we do it, you know?
You haven't had that experience with your own
children.
children.
No, I missed all of my children's teen years. They're coming in from being a 7-year-old to an 8-year-old to a 10-year-old to a 12-year-old to a 14-year-old, and those annoying times where you hate your teenager, you're like, I hate you. I never got to hate them. I never got to do that, which is bad. Not good. I remember one of the first things when I got in touch with Christian, like, you know, the biggest thing that he wanted me to do was get mad at him.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
He kept saying, he'd call me and he'd go, "Dad, get mad at me." I'm like, well, get mad at you for what?
Does his mom never get mad?
Oh, no, his mom got mad, but he never had that father figure in his life to be mad at him or to correct him. But I've never had to really we have had a couple of discussions where I've had to direct him, but I've never been to the point to where,
he's an adult now, so the conversation's going to be different.
18, so I gave him more direction than I did, you know.
Yeah.
Of like, you're doing something really wrong. You should not be doing that. You know, I'm disappointed in you. You know,
depending on your child's age, you speak to them at their level.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that I see you with Carter, and because I know you didn't have that experience with any of your children, and even in the beginning, I would ask you, like, just when we were dating, like, "Oh, Carter came to me with this today, and like, what do you think?" And I'd ask you, and your first response would be like, "I don't know." You had no fatherly advice to give me. I was just like, okay, I'll figure it out.
And you know where my brain would constantly go? What was my experience when I was that age? Like, that's where my head goes immediately. What did I feel like when I was in that age? Or what were my emotions when I was a teenager? And I don't remember those days, like, to that point.
I know. I mean, I still remember mine.
I have a horrible memory.
I know you do. But I've seen you in the way you talk with him, like, now that we're married and you live here and, like, you know, you have conversations with him. He'll come to us with problems. Yeah. And sometimes I don't have the answers. I'm like, parents don't always have the right answers. But you give him some really good, solid advice. And the last time he had an issue, we were on the sofa and, like, I was saying the exact same thing, but he didn't take it from me. And then you say it in a different words, different verbiage, but the exact same thing I said. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Yeah. Mom fail. I'm like, wow.
No, it's not a mom fail.
But my point.
But I think that's the thing.
But that's my point, is that you're good at it.
Mother and father and what that person inputs, you know? And I love the fact that he has a father that is there for him.
He does.
You know, because that makes a huge difference. That's something that
He has 3 parents because, you know, you're a bonus parent. Yeah. And I think he values all of the relationships, like all of his parents, you know, me, you, and his dad, which is nice because and I've talked to him, like, he does come to me and you, and then he also talks to his dad about the same stuff. And for the most part, all 3 of us tell him the exact same thing.
And that's got to be very impactful, you know.
Yeah.
That's got to be good. So.
But yes, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, boo.
I've heard you talk to him. It's been great. And you will be teaching him how to drive. I refuse.
Yeah.
That's not me.
I refuse too. If
You
this
can
woman's
help.
in the back seat, oh my gosh.
You and his dad can help teach him because I just, oh no. It just scares me. Every time we're in like coming up to the house, he's like, Mom, can I drive? And I'm like, no, not today. I am running out of excuses. I'm like, I have to pee. I'm hungry. I gotta do this.
I think we just need to take him out one of these days and let him go out and do stuff. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to where we were kind of talking earlier.
Moving on without an apology.
I know that I have forgiven because that's a heart issue for me and for anybody that's walking around in unforgiveness. And if you're walking around in unforgiveness, that's what it is. That was a saying that I was trying to say earlier. If you're walking in unforgiveness and you think that, you're holding that grudge against that person and you're needing what they have or you're expecting something from them to make you feel better, I don't believe that will ever, even if I was to get an apology from her, I don't think it would have ever made me feel like, oh, okay, that's what I needed. Feels so good.
Yeah.
It was, I had to choose to ask for forgiveness. And this wasn't something that happened like, oh God, help me forgive this person because I really hate her and I don't like her and blah, 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 blah. And in Jesus' name, amen. I felt good. That's not what happened. I had to ask for like 2 years of saying, God, I don't know how to forgive in this way. I don't know how to let go of these things. Yeah. I don't know how to let go of the hurt. I don't know how to let go of the disappointment. But I know you're God.
Yeah. And he is a God of restoration.
And you can heal my heart. And he did. It took time to get to that point, but he did. And then there was one day where I remember something came up. It was something that would typically make me upset and bring me back to that feeling like, oh, I hate her, I can't go there. And I remember just being like, that's sad. And I didn't catch it right away. And then after, I remember talking to someone, and that person I used to talk to, she would always bring up that part of my life, and we would just, and I remember I just I don't remember the conversation, but I didn't get into that bickering and nagging or complaining or trying to put this person down.
Yeah.
And I remember while that person was talking, it looked so nasty. The stuff that was coming out.
Familiar?
Well, the words that were just coming out, I understood what I was doing. I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was saying that stuff. And then I used to walk around thinking that I always had to justify that I'm not the person that she's making me out to be. And then it got to the point where that just clicked. And I never tried to convince anybody. If they thought that was the type of person.
Peace and freedom in that?
There's so much peace and freedom. I remember.
It's a lot of work to try to convince everybody you're someone you're not.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Yeah. And when that forgiveness came and when God gave me forgiveness for me and I released it, seeing her, she's still doing the same thing today.
Yeah.
But
which is sad.
I don't let it affect my peace.
Right.
It hurts me when it affects my son.
Yeah.
But I have peace still. I just get angry at the fact that I don't get to have those experiences. There's certain things that come up, and of course, I guess that hurts my heart still. Yeah. But
I'm so proud of you.
That's where I'm at.
You have come a very long way.
Yeah.
And I am very proud of you. I love you.
Stop.
Can we just...
we're
stop
done.
We're done. We need to go. I need to love you now. No, actually, we are running out of time. But was there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, just on forgiveness. I mean, we all have been there. We all have been betrayed.
Yes.
We've all felt like we've been wronged.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to hold on to that. You don't have to carry it with you, because I felt like I carried it around for so long, and thank God it didn't get me to a point to where I got sick.
Yeah.
But I've seen that happen to people.
Yes. When you carry all that burden you shouldn't be carrying.
Yeah, because it's not clean. It's not pure. And then, one of the things that really helped me, I think, get to that point, and it was a scripture that I really clung to. I don't remember the where it's at in the Bible, but it always talked about only speak of things that are good. Only, God, I can't remember it right now. But just everything that comes out of your mouth, just let it be glorifying, let it be purifying, let it be, speak life. Me saying I'm digging a grave, of course, that's kind of joking in a sense, but you asked if that's something I would be hurt towards. No, I wouldn't. But I'm not being spiteful towards it and being like, oh, I wish this person, I really don't believe that I would find joy in that, because of the fact that I know that my son, my daughter, and my youngest son love her as their mother, which they should. And I continue to tell my son, respect your mom. I never talk bad about her in front of him. This is probably the most that I've ever done
he's not here
to anybody, but kind of doing it jokingly. But there's so much forgiveness when you can release what someone has done to you, and you can't do it on your own. I know there's people that try to make it happen on their own, but it's something that you have to ask God to allow you to release that. And you might have. I had to do it for a long time. It wasn't every day, but there was
overnight.
There was times that things would come up and I would get upset, and I'm like, God.
Sometimes it takes longer than 2 years.
Yeah. Every time I look at a bank statement, every time I'd get a letter from the court, every time I'd get a letter from CYFD saying you can't see your children, every time there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that just would fuel stuff. And it got to a point I couldn't even drive by the courthouses. I used, if I had to go like Lomas or just in that area, I would take a detour just so I wouldn't drive by the courthouse. It used to affect me so much.
Wow.
But until I got forgiveness and freedom from that, it was huge. So.
Well, I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to be, but this is an interesting podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in once again this week to Turning the Page with Jer
and Jel. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our social media platforms. We are on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter now, and TikTok. And we'd love to hear from you.